Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be having a look at this. This is the NARS Narcissist Wanted palette, and it's something that I definitely wanted as soon as I saw. What we're going to be doing in this video is having a quick talk about the palette. I will then get nice up and close and personal and show you what the palette looks like inside, the texture of some of those shadows. We're going to have a look at some swatches, and then we're going to come back here together and we're going to apply a couple of colours onto the lid and see how they perform. If you are interested in this palette, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about it, then please stay tuned. Alright, so I picked this up from Sephora in Hawaii. Now this will be available not in Sephora here in Australia. It will be, as just like all NARS, it'll be available exclusively through Mecca Maxima. I have to say it was quite pricey, even in America. It was quite a pricey palette. When I saw it in person, I'm like, oh, it's not the biggest palette. Do I really need it? And in reality, do I really need it? No. But did I get it? Yes. But I have to say, I was really pleasantly surprised by the Narcissist Loaded palette late last year. I just found that the shadows were so nice. I felt like they were so blendable, so pigmented, and they really made a really great impression on me. So then when this palette came out in these softer kind of rosy hues, I was like, yep, I'm all over that one. So I'm not going to play any games with you in terms of do I like it or don't I like it. I absolutely love this palette. I think it's no regrets whatsoever. There are 12 shades of pigmented shadow. Some of them are quite nice and shimmery, some of them are fantastic blendable mattes, and then there's a couple of what I would call toppers that are just so beautiful, and I was so blown away by them. But that's enough talking. Let's go in and have a look at the palette nice and close up. All right, here we are. Here is the unit carton of the Narcissist Wanted Eyeshadow Palette. Just letting you know, this is not the first time I'm looking at the palette. I have actually played with it a few times, and I've been quite impressed with it every single time. So we have that protective cardboard there, and this is the front of the palette, so it actually matches the box. I like that NARS are starting to move away from just the plain black packaging, even though I really like it. So it's a silver base package. I'll try not to blind you. And then you can see on the back that we have all the shade names. It was made in Canada and it should last 24 months. Are you ready to look inside? All right, opening it up, and we always get our little plastic protector there, which says, "Are you a narcissist?" And here are the shades. Now, what you will be picking up is the thing that I was most surprised about when I first saw this palette, and that is just how reflective some of these shades are. Can you see that? In terms of finishes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes. We then have 1, 2, I guess we could call them satin finishes. They've got the slightest amount of sheen to them, but they're definitely not shimmery. We then have 1, 2, 3, 4 shimmers, and then we have what I could best describe as a glittery top coat there. Wait till you see how these perform. As you'll see later, these shadows really work well together. They blend really well together, and they just give some really pretty looks. Now, what you can do with this palette is a couple of different things. You can definitely stick just to your kind of warm brown look using those two and using some of these shimmery shades. You can get to something slightly cooler by using this cooler shade or cooler toned brown there. There is no black in this palette. The dark brown there is quite a coffee brown kind of shade. Does add quite a lot of depth, but there is no black. And then also I think we can tell by looking at this palette that it's perfect for rosy kind of almost mauvey kind of shades. This shade here, the matte there, adds so much pigment, adds so much depth and rich color with just using a slight amount. I've already used this palette 3 or 4 times. I've used this shade almost every single time, and you can see that it barely looks like it's been touched. You can also create, and what I've loved doing is creating a really nude kind of eye by using just these 2 shades here to put a really nice contour into the crease, and then using this glitter on top for a little bit of pizzazz, but without too much color. I think if there's anything I could say about this palette that's a negative, I think the only thing is, well, number one, the price point is quite expensive. NARS shadows usually are quite expensive. But the other thing that I can say about this palette, which is a little frustrating, is that I feel like we probably should have had something included here that was in between this and that, for a lovely transition color for somebody with darker skin. I would say this palette is probably aimed towards light to medium dark skin tones. I think if you have deep skin tones, I think these would look beautiful. The shimmers would look absolutely beautiful on you, but I think you might need to reach for something else to put in the crease. Let's get to swatches. I have to mention that when I was swatching these before and playing with them, they don't actually swatch very well, but believe me when I tell you that these perform really well on the eyes. So starting off, we'll go this, 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 this. Next we'll go that one, that one, that one, that one. And lastly, we'll go that bottom row. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that shade there. Let's go and have a look at some of these swatches outside. So I personally think this palette really tells a really lovely kind of colour story. I think you can get some really nice versatile looks out of this. I think if anything, we probably could have done without the green and, like I said, put in another transition shade. But then again, I really do like the green and I look forward to using that with some of the rosy tones to create something a little bit different. All right, just quickly, I want to show you how these apply on the eye. So I'm going to do something really, really simple, nothing extraordinary, just something really like a quick wash of color, but just to show you how quickly these work and how well they apply. So I'm going to start off by just grabbing that creamy shade there and laying it down all over my lid. I did have some shadow on before, which I just got rid of, which is why my lids look a bit strange. All right, nice. I'm then gonna go in and grab that shade there really, really lightly, just touch it really, really lightly and just apply it throughout the crease. Check out that just really minimal blending. I'm then going to grab that shade there really quickly and again, let's just put in the crease a little bit lower this time. I'm not sure how this is translating on the camera, but these are really blending very, very easily. There's no artificial lighting here, so you can see exactly in daylight what these look like. I'm then going to grab that colour very slightly, like just tap, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner. And hopefully you can see how quickly this is just working. Grab a little bit more. This is seriously one of the easiest, most blendable palettes I've ever used. And then I just grab a really like a clean blending brush and just blend these seams in a little bit. Using my finger, I'm going to grab that shade there, and I'm just going to rub it in there, and I'm going to just tap that gently on the lid. And blend in a couple of colours down below. And that was an absolute real-time eyeshadow application. Now, if I was going out and doing something special other than just editing this video, then I probably would have taken a lot more time. I probably would have blended a little bit more. But the point I want to get to you is that these colors work really, really well together, and they blend just like nothing else. Of course, you are paying a premium price for that though. So it's really up to you whether or not you think this is worth the money. For me, yes, it's no regrets from me. It's something I would definitely pick up. Again, if I hadn't have already picked it up. But if these are really sort of your palette, then this is one that I would definitely recommend for you. Definitely 2 thumbs up recommended. Alright, I'm going to leave that there. I hope you enjoyed having a look at this nice and close up, having a look at the swatches and so on. I would love as usual for you to subscribe to this channel, and let's get those numbers up there. Let me know if you have this palette, if you're intending to buy this palette, all of that sort of stuff I want to hear from you. But other than that, as usual, thank you so much for joining me in my little corner of the internet. I'll catch you next time. Bye.